Anybody else got anything?
Are they gonna charge you that $3,200 where you got one tire or that truck full?
The last cleanup, we don't have tires out full road.
They filled it up, but it wasn't.
All the
That
way.
guy down yonder called all his up there, didn't he?
Oh, Rick.
I mean, Roski.
That was wrong.
Anybody else?
If you're gonna have tires, someone from council is gonna have to be up here. When the, can't depend on Eric Billings.
It wouldn't be a problem if, once you got
There
through
was
with the
limitation.
cleanup and shut it down, and then if you got a partially empty trailer or let somebody like that thing or stuff and fill it up, but it's gonna cost you $3,200. It shouldn't come first. I mean, it needs to give other people, I think, a chance to get rid of the tires when you have it. And then, if something, you know, the trailer's half empty, I mean, Mitch used to bring tires, but he wouldn't bring anything, because I'd go down and tell him that trailer wasn't full. I'd go down and tell him, you're gonna get rid of some of your tires, and bring one to put them in, but we're gonna have to pay for it anyway. But he never brought anything, he did it on Monday after cleanup day was over.
What days are you on, Saturday and Sunday?
They drop them off Friday and then Saturday, Sunday. Are we gonna try to see if Eric is interested?
He did call and ask, so I think he was interested. Because that's kind of what prompted to put it on the agenda, because he called me and asked me like 2 weeks ago, hey, what are they doing this week?
Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday, or just Friday and Saturday?
So I think they drop them off on Friday, right? But we don't actually start collecting until Saturday.
Historically, yes. Or like Friday, for anything that would go in on Friday would be like stuff that Eric has collected from, you know, people who need help with it being collected.
Or is this something we might want to see, reach out to the school and see if they have any students that are trying to get some kind of community hours for like college?
John, could you speak up over here? We can't
I was
hear.
asking if we wanted to maybe reach out to the school and see if there was any students that wanted to do like community service hours.
Yeah, my boy had to get them too.
They may have some organizations up at school that do volunteer stuff. I mean, who knows?
Okay, so I think we need to find out and have clear-cut expectations of what Eric, if he's interested, what he would like to be paid, so we don't have another issue like we did last time.
So y'all think that?
I think that's fair and stuff.
Fair.
I mean, that way you don't get in a bind like we did with the last time that.
I would like for it to be submitted in writing from him, not on a phone call.
Okay.
Are we shooting for April or will we try to push it to the beginning of May?
We don't wait on Eric, we probably won't have to push it till May. Might have 2 weekends picked out tentatively before it's put to Eric.
Well, I mean, if he can't do it on the dates that we select, then we don't have to use him, we can go with someone else. So that would be up to him. I think if we plan it and we decide that we're gonna have it at the end of April, then, you know, that's our
More dates.
dates.
All right, anybody else? Anything to say about
Well, I
that?
think y'all only have it just Saturday or Friday and Saturday, because I'm telling you right now, that all of you ain't never been here, I have. And usually by Saturday, the dumpsters are full. And just by the grace of me, I've come, and I'm not trying to stick more feathers in my hat, but I've been coming up here and packing them down. And usually, people that show up on Sunday, 9 times out of 10, what you got there is somebody trying to bring another tractor tire back up there. Nobody would take it Saturday, so he's gonna try to sneak it in Sunday.
Anybody else? Okay. Discuss permit fee adjustments. Who's that?
So that would be like for your culvert permit thing, so you know how y'all are doing all this.
Oh, yeah. That'd be, did you put the culvert thing down here? Yeah, that'd be added on, let's see. Might as well just read that too. Discuss first reading ordinance of 2026-04A, amendment Goshen Ordinance Code, section 3.10.061-3, .10.090, a modifying culvert size and recommendation as recommended by the engineer firm. Anybody got anything to say about that?
Just look at the ordinance, if you look at the very back, that would be the proposed modification I came up with based on kind of what was indicated. It would basically just add a section that diameter and length of culvert will be determined by the county engineer, director of public works, or designee on a case-by-case basis, but must be a minimum length of 15 inches. That's what I thought y'all were kind of going for. If that's different from what you want, or you want to change it, then y'all can do that, and then we go to April for that second reading.
Well, I talked to them, we had a meeting before this meeting, and they said 15-inch culvert unless otherwise approved by the city council, because there's some that won't need a 15-inch culvert. There's some that'll take a 12-inch culvert. So, and the engineer inspects everything when completed. That way they'll make sure it won't cave in or none of that stuff. Make sure it ain't a plastic culvert, none of that. Because they said to go with the corrugated culverts. So, anyway, anybody got anything?
How much they charging us for the stuff?
For what?
What are they charging us for? Job or whatever?
Job, we don't pay that. Right. The people,
No, I'm asking about the engineering part.
The engineering, they just charge us. I don't know what they charge us for their help.
I haven't received an invoice yet, so I don't know.
I don't know.
If they had, so on the packet last month, they had like a schedule of fees, but I'm not sure how it's going to do down
Yeah,
the
I
street.
can help with the engineering thing, but, so generally, with engineers, there will be an agreed upon set rate for certain engineering things. And since you're still in the early stages, you'll probably hadn't crossed that bridge yet. You're in the early stages and start with an engineer firm. Generally, there's a set fee for each different type of work. Inspections, one culvert, multiple culvert, subdivision requirements, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, see, all they'll be doing is inspection. They won't be doing the work.
No, I knew they wasn't gonna do the work.
Yeah,
I'm asking about-
They'll be like an
But they're
inspection.
not gonna do what they're doing free, I know that.
Yeah, no, they ain't gonna be doing it.
Nothing's free, Bill.
No.
They,
Yep.
made just recommendation. Since y'all have y'all's own, that part about diameter and length of culvert shall be determined by the county engineer. They want to change that to city engineer.
And I think designate may cover it, I can change that, I see what you're calling,
Yeah, just,
make it clear.
because the county may just tell them, if somebody else reads that, they may go to the county's just gonna run right back to you, cutting out the middleman.
This says you can use plastic pipe.
No plastic pipe.
It says right here.
Yeah, but we gotta change that. We have to be coordinated. I talked to the engineers and they said the plastic pipe, if you go with heavy weights, it'll crush it down and be oval and it tears apart easy and
So what's it gonna be?
coordinated,
So
coordinated metal.
Okay, but this doesn't say.
that reference in there and stuff should be crossed out then.
So ABS plastic or equivalent should be removed.
Yes.
Well, this says reinforced concrete, it doesn't say anything about, corrugated.
He said concrete was good too, but it's just be more expensive.
So the culvert shall be reinforced concrete, smooth interior corrugated polyethylene pipe, and shall be pre-approved by the city staff.
Not polyethylene pipe, no. What was that other pipe, Chance, when we discussed it with the engineers, he said pH?
It's metal.
No,
corrugated pipe.
I know, but there's no one's plastic. He said it was good.
Yeah, but whenever
pH, but he said it's expensive.
whenever he
Trying to go out the cheapest ways to get these people out cheap, so we ain't gotta spend a lot of money on the coal.
Okay, so you're gonna remove ABS plastic or equivalent, you're gonna remove corrugated polyethylene, and you're gonna replace it with the recommendation. Is that what y'all are thinking?
Just corrugated metal. What is it? Not corrugated metal, it's stainless, not stainless.
Vernon probably knows the correct term for it.
What is
It's
it?
the same corrugated metal he's been installing.
Galvanized.
Galvanized,
Galvanized.
there you go. Thanks, Brian.
So,
Which engineer y'all talking
if you're gonna have the county do these,
to?
well,
Frank?
the county has an engineer.
No, it's not the county.
Or
That's
Frank
what I'm
will
saying,
return
the
to-
county doesn't charge to tell you,
I'll get
come out and tell you what size culvert
They're
they're
gonna give
going.
you,
They'll come out, and once the owner, property owner puts in the request, makes the permit, she would submit it to the county goes out, they size the culvert, see what the ditch work is, they come back with a price, they give it to Sarah, Sarah takes it to the property owner, tells them how much it is, they say, okay, yeah, they come give her a check, she calls the county comes out and does it. This engineering firm's not me, because the county will do all that.
Yeah, but what did the county charge though? 'Cause
They don't charge anymore for that.
Because they do on house roads, not on strip roads, they don't charge. On our roads, they'll charge,
Charge for what part?
putting in the culvert.
Yeah, I'm talking about the sizing of it.
The engineering part of it, they don't charge for. That's the
Okay.
service.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I know on the strip road, they'll do it for free. On our roads,
Well,
they
there's no way.
They do what for free?
TxDOT don't do nothing.
No.
they'll put a culvert, if you ask them to put a
No,
culvert,
no.
like if I ask them to put a culvert in my driveway, they'll have to come out and put a culvert in.
No.
No,
They'll
TxDOT.
replace one, but they won't.
Yeah.
They'll replace one, but if you don't have one existing, oh yeah, they charge. Then they charge you a permit fee and then everything else. TxDOT's not cheap.
Okay.
On that engineering thing, that's part of the county deal. So that's the reason I was asking, what were those engineers charging?
Brian, when
I mean, that's not
they
a
did
good
big
thing.
30 pounds, did they come out and size it?
I size it.
Okay. I didn't know, that's why I was asking.
No, I size it. But I've been told now that I'm out of the loop. I can't do anything anymore.
Okay.
And it's fine. But the county, they have engineering. They have that in-house, so.
I'll get an answer for you, Billy.
But, you know, they can come
Well,
out.
I mean,
Well,
it's not very business, if the county's gonna do it for nothing, and we're gonna pay somebody else to do it, that don't make good business sense.
I don't know what they charge, I have no idea.
I would just ask the county. You know,
There's a new black lady down there that's county engineer now, that man's not there anymore.
I just ask the county and get them to put it in writing and do it for free and then roll with them.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else about the culverts? Okay. Discuss ordinance 2026-04-B, amending the budget to move money into the maintenance to allow for purchase or replacement of light bulbs at City Hall. Y'all got anything to say about that, anybody?
Well, what about the septic tank, cause you hadn't had that done, either not be part of your maintenance on the building.
Yeah, I
You
will.
need to consider that.
I'll put that on the next agenda, because septic
But
ain't on this.
what I'm saying though, when you're moving the money, you need to move enough money now, so you don't have to go back and do it again.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we can discuss that here in a little bit. Okay. Discuss renewing the lease of the Goldston Volunteer Fire Department, that's free, right, Ken? All we gotta do is renew it,
Yes, but David has something for you.
what's up?
There is a potential thing. So when it was first installed, there was a frequency that the radar system or the system was on. That was updated, and so now it's out of frequency with what the county uses. That's why you have to have someone that goes and manually pushes things and activates the siren because of that frequency problem. So one thing the volunteer fire department is asking is they're asking for the funds to actually update that equipment and then re-frequentize it. That's the best word I have for it. That's gonna cost around $8,000. I don't have the exact number. I think the chief was supposed to bring that and kind of figure that out. But that's the number estimate you're looking at to actually get that updated. What that would do is it would allow the siren to basically turn on its own without having someone actually have to go manually do it.
What we always manually doing it though?
So during the installation of that siren, there was one frequency, and then all of a sudden the whole county, fire department and all, that's why all of our radios changed, and everybody had to go buy new radios and everything countywide. They changed the frequency to, I think it's like 800 megahertz or whatever it is. And whenever that happened, the stuff that was ordered for was the previous frequency, now it doesn't work on the new
Oh,
frequency.
who changed the frequency?
Department of Emergency Management,
Oh, so
And when
McLennan
did that
County,
happen?
is McLennan
during the
County?
installation of it.
Okay, during the installation, so it should be the people we bought it from.
No, they tried to get them to, there was a whole thing, it went on for months. Because the guy at that point in time, that was the one that was supposed to help with that from the Department of Emergency Services, wasn't very helpful. Didn't want to budge, nothing. So all this time, I've been going up there and manually hitting it.
So what the deal is, we bought a lemon car.
But it's not-
It's a lemon,
It-
and now we gotta manually do it or spend $8,000 to fix the lemon.
It's not actually
No,
the,
that's not what he's saying.
it's not the people that sold it to you's fault. The county itself, the Department of Emergency Management, decided to change frequencies that operates at a higher capacity and is more stable during the installation of it. We got what we paid for as a city, we just wound up with a damn curveball right in the middle of it.
So if it's during the installation, why don't they fix it right then?
We had 9 kinds of hell out of trying to get Department of Emergency Management to work with us on that.
So when was it installed?
Years ago.
Okay, and so, but manually doing it has worked all the way up until now, but we have not
It's been
accounted
brought up more
for.
than once.
Yeah, well, we didn't, no one set it off when that tornado came through, and that's one of the that was
Yeah,
brought up.
everybody got mad about it.
Your options would be to keep the current donation with just the siren, and then it would auto-renew from here. And then someone from the city would have to go and manually activate the button, because the volunteer fire department will not continue doing that manually.
I live right beside there, if Chan shows down to do it, I can do it.
The other option would be to make that donation with the 1,000 additional one time, and that would allow them to update the system, and then the fire department could take it from there, because it would be given to them as part of that donation.
We can turn it on by our radios at that point.
So that's the two options that y'all have as the city.
So, my question with that is, would everybody that has a radio have access to it?
No, just certain ones of them.
So $8,000,
Ish.
The third option to that has not been considered would be for the city council, if the fire department does not want to continue to manually do it, until we can get it in on next week's or next year's budget and actually approve for the $8,000 instead of having another expense that we've got to pull money out of the sky for and do it that way. And that's what I would actually recommend doing, is we do a makeshift and then we can plan for it in the next budget for $8,000 if that's how much it's gonna cost.
Well, if you wanna do that, that's fine, as long as you take 100% liability and the fire department don't get blamed again for that siren not going off. It's not the fire department's responsibility, nor was it ever intended for the fire department to have to go manually hit that siren. I've just continued to do it for years.
I live right down the road.
Nobody else would
You
come
live right
back.
down the road. You show me how to do it, Chance, I can do it.
What are you gonna do when you're at work at 10 o'clock in the morning and tornadoes come?
That last tornado thing that happened, nobody could get out. Everybody says, oh, I went and hit it, or.
I did, I just didn't know how to do it.
I get you, Buck, but if you're not in town and you're in Waco, everybody complained about it. Everybody said, why didn't the fire department set it off? It's not the fire department's responsibility.
Well, I work from home, I could have gotten out, I could have done it. If he's not here, I can always go down there
Years.
real
I've
quick.
been setting it off
I
for
just need
years
to be
because
trained
nobody
on how to
does
do
it.
When they
it.
put
So-
that, when you say years,
And if that's what y'all wanna do, since you would do this on the agreement, just cross out the additional part on the language. Just make sure the donation is the same amount as the siren, and then I can present that to the fire department, and they would, continue that lease through renew, and then you could revisit that later if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah, cause we can't just keep grabbing money out of the sky, when we haven't budgeted for it, so I don't recommend that, but in a makeshift, we can work together as a council to make sure it gets done, but we would need some training from the fire department on how to do that.
You push one button.
So, and where that button is, and whatever we need to know.
Yeah,
to do it.
Chance shows me, I can show y'all.
Yeah,
It's easy enough, my kids can run it.
Has anyone checked with emergency management, see if there are any grants out there that might help with this?
Look,
I think it would be a good thing to look into, because being emergency management,
it looks like there's, could be some help out there. And if you're not gonna be able to do anything until after October anyway, because the money's not there, it's gotta be allocated.
Good idea, Brian. Okay, anybody else? Okay, discuss new flags for City Hall.
So Holly brought that up, that we've already approved purchase
Yeah,
flags.
we already approved the purchase of them, but I was wanting to know how much y'all wanted to spend. And
Didn't we
I
already, we
thought,
said
yeah,
a dollar amount back when
we
Eddie
had
was here.
invoices back when that was done, and we said, 8 to 10 at the price that they were, I don't
think-
remember.
Well, okay, so if I remember correctly, there was like $200 that was approved, but that was so long ago, I didn't wanna like go off of that again.
Billy, what did you say you get the
I mean,
flags
unless the
at?
price had changed,
Well,
So-
I get flags at Harbor Freight, they're $9.99, but sometimes they put them on sale for $4.50. I bought a whole pile of them, cause
Another
Now,
concern.
Okay. Yeah.
they don't hold up as a, well, as a
Yeah,
high,
well, if
but
you-
at
if you-
$4.50, you can buy a box of flags for what some of these flags cost.
Another concern that was brought up at the last meeting was, should we get flags that are made in China?
Yeah, well,
that are what?
Made in
I
China.
don't care if
Does
it's
it
American
matter?
flag, it don't matter.
That's just what was brought up.
Those at Harbor Freight are USA made.
We have
Most
the
of
purchase
them-
of them
The
already.
991s are not. So I found 1999 flags that are
I
made in
tell you,
USA
I
from
bought
Harbor
flags
Freight.
at Harbor Freight.
Cause this
And they have a
goes all the
USA
way back
tag
to
on 'em.
why I never got them initially, because when I went to Harbor Freight, the only ones they had were made in China.
Okay.
And there were a couple of y'all that said that we don't want flags, American flags
Well,
that are made
we've
in
got
China.
flags out there right now that are tattered and torn.
No, I know that.
And
I've
that
had
looks
people
way
call me.
worse than worrying about the
Okay.
others.
Here we go, here we
Well,
go.
it's not my personal concerns, it was just what they,
But we
Said
approved the
before.
purchase up to
Yes.
X amount of dollars,
Oh, well,
so.
right here is 1999 and then 2184.
yeah. so
And if we
that's-
buy, and if we approve 200, so that means you can buy a couple of them. And if they're kind of, not very good and they rip, we can just put another one up.
Yeah, so if
Okay.
y'all want me to get a few of those, then that's what I'll do.
Okay, we'll figure it out in a
I
minute.
just wanted the actual approval because I didn't want anybody to come back
To
and
me,
say
it
that I'm
doesn't matter.
like
I
spending money on
mean,
authorized.
Whatever.
Didn't sometime back Sonya Bucky donate some flags?
She did, but that was before I came on and I haven't seen any like in the building, so those are probably the ones
I
that she
think those are the
donated.
ones that Sonya donated.
These are made in America, so that everybody should be happy.
Yeah.
But I'll go, if, y'all approve it, I'll go get them this weekend and put them up on Monday morning.
No, it was in the package.
Package, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's in the package, okay, yeah. Anybody else on the flags? Okay, adjourn for 15 minutes.
Well, this was in there, were we gonna, I seen this for the polls.
Bulk, oh yeah, bulk, well.
That's just kind of an example
Yeah,
of what you gotta look.
we gotta vote on it, so that'd be on the
What?
agenda.
But it's not on the report.
Yeah, right here, bulbs, this one, I just went over it, I just asked about it.
That's the maintenance budget.
Move money to purchase light bulbs.
Well, I was gonna talk about that.
Okay, go ahead.
So these bulbs are 49, they're $5 a piece, these bulbs. You can order them online and get LEDs for, what was the price?
They last a lot longer too.
Well-
These last a lot longer.
So these LEDs are,
Do number F, did we? Did we skip over item F?
Yeah, but he didn't have those ready anyway. So.
so you can get LEDs and they are off this website that I buy them off of.
If you're gonna get LEDs, you gotta replace them all.
No. So these are LEDs, they're $437 each, but you gotta buy a case of 25. With shipping, it'd be $117.
But that,
Still cheaper.
Yeah,
they last forever.
the other thing is,
They're 10 times brighter.
these are ballast compatible, so they'll go right in that fixture.
That was my.
And if the ballast goes out, they're also ballast bypass, where if the ballast goes out, you're not having to come back and replace the $22 ballast. You just cut the ballast out and wire it around.
The water or something.
Yeah, if you send that to me, then I'll order it.
We'll talk about that. Okay, 15 minutes.
Be more than
Well, it's
15 minutes, they can't
7:30.
start at 7:30.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 30 minutes.
One of it.
Call to order. Rick, you want to do some prayer?
Yes, sir. Dear Lord, help lift us up as we go through these action items for our community, and help us to run a smooth and efficient meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag, pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
February 19th, 2026 regular meeting approval.
I make a motion we approve.
Everybody out? Folks, I try to address the council, we can respectfully request to limit the comments to 5 minutes. Make sure they identify the name, street, city, and address, any subject. Alright, the state law, the council may not engage in discussion or any other matter not listed in the agenda. The city of Garcia is that each person who desires to address the council must speak and either occur on behalf may not reserve it any time for other questions. Okay, mayor's report.
Wait a minute. I've got public comment. Tony Rushner, 891 Silver River Road. Mistakes. Our society is riddled with mistakes. I could not attend the budget meeting in person last week, but I did try to watch it online. I watched for 45 minutes, and I told myself I'm going to give it 15 more minutes before I turn this off. For a solid hour, all that was talked about was how bad a job previous councils have done with budgets and how we do it at the school. At that point, I turned it off. Previous budgets and how you did it at the school is not going to make a budget for small town Goshen. We have a working, breathing 25-26 budget with a working, breathing actual sitting right beside you. That's all you need. You go out there and find the information that you need, what the difference is in the cost for whatever might be going up. You need a few more line items. If you need something more breakdown, put it in there. The council consists of good old boys and women trying to do their best as volunteers. The reason we have a budget committee is someone brought it up, I guess thought it was a good idea, and presented it to the council. And the council voted in favor of it. Do you know why? The council thought, oh great, we won't have to do the budget. Someone will do it for us. And let me tell you, when you approve this budget, it's yours. You will be responsible for it. And if there are mistakes, it will be your mistakes. And there will be mistakes. Council, you will have to spend more than several hours with the budget committee when they're approved so they can explain it to you good enough so you can either accept it or deny it or take it with revisions. I've been involved in hundreds of budgets, as we call them in our business, estimates. An estimate is someone's ability to do the best they can to figure out what something will cost. Some costs are hard costs, they won't change, they are what they are. But some costs will change and some costs are the best job at figuring out what that cost is. In the 11 years that I was in business for myself, I've never had an estimate that went over budget. You know what that means? I made a mistake. If my estimate would have run over the estimated cost, I would have made a mistake. It would be the immaculate conception to have a budget or an estimate that the actual matched the predicted budget. You're always going to have the line items that either come under or over the estimated cost. But in the end, the final number, if it's less or close to the budget, you did a good job. Several years ago, our tax rate was over 20 cents and then lowered to 4.5 cents.
Today it's 9 cents. The tax rate should have never been lowered. We were told we were accumulating too much money and needed to do something about it, so we lowered the tax rate. Yeah, someone got a good old pat on the back for that, but we're paying the price now. We shouldn't have lowered the tax rate. We should have just started spending money on the things we said we were collecting it for. But now we will pay the consequences. At the end of this budget, there will be a request for a tax rate increase. If there's no tax rate increase requested, then the fund balance will have to be tapped. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, mayor's report. I ain't got nothing to report. City secretary report.
Business as usual.
City attorney report.
The only turn from the city attorney is we will be gone in the month of May. So if there's any business that you need us to take care of, let us know so we can get it done to y'all in April. And May, both Matthew and I will be out of country for a couple weeks. So there'll be about a 12-hour delay. So just putting that on y'all's radar in case something comes up.
Planning and zoning committee report.
Kevin called me before the meeting. They still don't have quorum, so they are looking for members. So that's that.
Budget committee report.
The budget committee met on March the 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. for the regular meeting. Committee members consist of Billy Sparks, Vivian Gafford, Melissa Teal, Larry McFarland, and Lynn Roberts. The minutes of the February meeting were approved. The committee discussed and finalized templates to be used for the city of Goshen's funds receivable for the fiscal year 2026 and 2027 and for the proposed budget for 26-27. The committees reviewed and discussed data from the 2024 fiscal year invoices and receipts. Reiterated that a recommendation needs to be presented to City Council to put processes in place for purchase requisitions and invoices to accompany checks and monthly online bills. The next regular committee meeting will be held Thursday, April the 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m. At that time, amounts will be entered into categories to discuss on proposed budget templates. I've handed out to y'all as a blank copy of that template. There's one mistake on it. We put postage down twice. It needs to be, one of those needs to be taken out. But everything is broken down into like cash on hand, checking accounts, general checking, your cleft funds, savings accounts, CDs and everything. And then the next category down there is your funds receivable for the year, which includes everything that has been, you receive income from. Some of those are broken down into sub-objects, like for instance on the franchise taxes, who you get franchise taxes from and how much and stuff. And then the next part of it over there is the expense part. And that's broken down into categories like and sub-objects indicating where money, where everything goes and what's being spent for different companies and stuff. And that's, I won't go line by line, but it broke down the insurance, legal, office expenses, utilities, election, contracted services, capital outlay, training for the different groups, interlocal agreements, community service, and everything. Now, I have finished going through the receipts and everything for the 24-25 year. I have a breakdown on that, and what we did, we went back and took all those numbers and put them into this template. So we had them where they would go, so we have something to compare by when we start looking at budget stuff. I would really suggest that some of you council members, or all of you, come to those budget meetings so you will understand what we're doing and what's in this and everything. Now, there's mention in there about using requisitions. I went through all those and put them into vendors. There was check stubs that were not attached to invoices. There's invoices missing. For example, on the tree deal, there's $40,000 worth of invoices there. There's $20,000, no invoices in there for $20,000. Nothing. And now we spent money on having a file clerk and nothing was filed. These check stubs were in there just loose, and they have been attached to every invoice and matched up with them and everything. But, and then we had, the Sarah got the money back, but we paid sales taxes of $200 something on the propane tank out there. You shouldn't be paying sales tax. She did get it back. I think it's about $268 and somewhat cents.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Somewhat. We've also you got overcharged $330 by one of the legal firms on the park stuff up there. The invoice was $330 less than what the check was written for. So, you know, somebody needs to start checking these bills. And just glancing at 24, 25, I've already divided them up and put them in by vendors, and just by separating out, I found several things that sent up a red flag. I don't know where you're at, it was never discussed here. Taylor Hill and Brown went up $250 a month on your bill. We started out paying $750 for that service. Well, that $250 they added on there is for doing payroll for one person. That's ridiculous. Charge $250 a month to do a payroll for one person. And then they undoubtedly we didn't pay a bill for 60 to 90 days, and they charged us $50 late fees. And this I just saw glancing when I was separating things and putting them in piles. But somebody needs to start checking those bills every month. Y'all vote on, and I'm not badmouthing you, I'm just telling you what's going on. Y'all sit up here and approve payment of bills and stuff, and I don't think anybody's looking at those bills. You see this stuff. Nobody's checking anything. And that's just a tip of the iceberg I'm talking about. So this was one of the reasons we brought up about the requisitions and stuff. You need to have that paper trail to cover all this stuff. And so, but y'all need to come to the meeting so when we sit down, because we're going to need to sit down with you and find out, like you're talking about $8,000 on this side. We need to know when we start working on this that y'all got some plans to do things so we can include that in there. So that you don't have to come back like we're fixing to do tonight and amend the budget because you didn't put any money in there for maintenance, building maintenance. Right? I mean, it makes us all look bad and stuff. And people can say what they want to about this thing, but this is broken down and it will be thorough.
Okay.
Anybody got any questions? I'll be glad to answer. Or somebody on the committee.
I don't think we can talk about it.
Okay. Council to discern any agenda item marked with asterisks under the city agenda. Any council member can request that a particular item be removed under further discussion. Okay. Approval of February financial report. Shall I look at that with you?
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the financial report.
Everybody? Aye? Okay. Approval act on authorization to issue payment of pending bills and purchase orders, accountabilities. Y'all wanna pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to pay our bills.
Second.
I'll agree on it. Okay. y'all don't need, fill a budget committee, right? Y'all got a full budget committee?
There's been no applications for
Okay,
either of them, actually.
okay.
So we only are allowed
Both of
five.
them's gone, all right. All right, the council may vote or act on each of the items set on the agenda. Consider to act on spring cleanup dates. Okay, y'all said probably the 24th and 25th, is that what y'all agreed on?
My thought process behind that is it comes after the city council meeting that is gonna be on the 16th. So therefore, we would have any payments that need to be done, we could have all of that kind of pre-planned for that meeting, and there's no debacle over, paying anything. The only potential issue with that is if we can't approve or if we don't approve the amount that Eric is willing to accept, if we wanted to go with him, then we would be kind of stuck with trying to find someone else to do it in a very short amount of time.
Okay, so y'all wanna do it 24th, 25th? I imagine we could find somebody, there's a lot of scrappers.
I'm good with 24th, 25th.
Rick, you good with 24th, 25th?
Yes, sir.
Now with that, also, I think Jonathan was wanting to see in lieu of getting
Eric.
some sort of quote from Eric.
Eric, a written quote?
Yes, a written quote from Eric on how much he would like, but then, also in lieu of that, Jonathan was recommending possibly looking for, reaching out to the school for volunteers.
Okay.
Instead, that would save the city money all the way around. Although with the caveat of that comes, we would need to have and make sure that somebody would be here to kind of oversee everything when we're there. Or when it's
Yeah,
going on.
I might be able to take vacation day. I got vacation days up. I might be able to take vacation days that day.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all agree on the 24th and 25th?
Yes.
Okay, we agreed on the 24th, 25th, and,
Or do we need to make
You
a
wanna,
motion?
Sarah, you wanna reach out to the school?
we'll reach out to school, see if there's any volunteers, and reach out to Eric and see if he wants to put in a written, make him, tell him he gotta put in a written quote on how much he wants.
What kind of responsibilities would I list for the volunteers to be doing?
Unloading, like
Assisting
the
with unloading.
vehicles,
Yeah, there's something about unloading,
Yeah.
unloading trash. Tires, not tires, we ain't doing
yeah,
tires.
I don't think we're gonna do tires.
David, would we have to get anything in writing from the volunteers?
Yeah, and if they're underage, you want it from the parents as well. So if they're under the age of 18, it'd be a signed consent from parent and kid. If they're above, then just that one. I think you can use that form I made for y'all prior.
David, isn't there the insurance liability?
Not if they sign the waiver with the,
Yes, but that's why you have a waiver that helps mitigate some of that.
Now, keep in
So-
mind though, that I do know that sometimes they
you
use
can always
like
sue.
forklifts, so they wouldn't be helping
It
with
just
that,
helps
just
collect a
helping
little
with
bit.
unload and stuff like that.
By hand, yeah.
Yeah, by hand stuff. Okay, I make a motion, we do it 24th, 25th, get Sarah to ask the school if there would be volunteers for kids, and ask Eric to give a handwritten quote on how much he'd want to do it. Okay,
And no tire trouble.
no tires,
No tires.
no tires, not this time. Okay, all in favor? Okay. The consider an act on permit fee adjustment. Fee. Okay, that aligns with C, right?
In a way, yeah.
In a way,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna read C too, because that aligns with this. Consider an act on the first reading of the ordinance 2026-04-A, amending the Ocean Ordinance Code Section 3.10.061-3.10.090 by modifying curb size. Okay, as recommended by the engineers. Rick, you wasn't here for this. Okay, they said minimum size 15-inch culvert unless otherwise approved by the city council. The engineers inspect everything when complete. Corrugated culverts required, road requirements, for development. So if they put a development thing in here, they go and tell them what they need to do before they do it. The road size, what kind of pavement to use and all that, not pavement, but what kind of gravel to use and all that. What he told us anyway. So.
He got that ordinance on the back. I think what was discussed was getting rid of ADS plastic or equivalent, getting rid of corrugated polyethylene pipe, replacing it with galvanized corrugated metal. So you'd have concrete or galvanized corrugated metal. Getting rid of the terms county engineer, director of public works, and just keeping designate. And then on a case-by-case basis, there must be a minimum diameter of 15 inches. So you keep that in, which means you can always approve a variance for anything lower. I think that's all the edits that we kind of suggested in the workshop. Is there anything else y'all would want me to add or remove?
He said he was gonna write up a thing for, write up a request form for a culvert, and then, we go over it, and, then he'll tell us what they need and what everything, and, we all vote on it. That's what the engineer said. So. It's up to you guys.
I'll make a motion we accept the changes as made together.
Who got you?
Yep.
Okay.
We're just increasing the size of culvert, right?
So, okay. Okay, consider the act on ordinance 2026-04-B, amending the budget to move money into maintenance to allow the purchase of a replacement light bulbs for City Hall. Okay, Johnson, this is you.
So, I got with Sarah, and I would like to make a motion to move $135 to purchase light bulbs.
What do you want to move from?
Something that was mentioned in the workshop was about the septic tank stuff.
Yeah,
Y'all
but,
wanted to move that.
well,
It's
it's not on the agenda though. I have to put it
I
on
can
the
put
next,
on this.
yeah, next one. We got payroll. I think payroll, we got $90,000. We put a lot in there for the building inspection. $70,000 in it.
70,000 now.
$70,000 in there. Yeah, we want to move it from 200 out, right?
130.
We might as well move 200 out in case we need something else.
Yeah, I make a motion we pull $200 from payroll to maintenance for the purchase of light bulbs.
I second that. About y'all? Yeah? Good? All right, everybody agrees? Okay. Okay, consider to act on renewing the lease of Golson Volunteer Fire Department. Just renewing the lease is free, right?
Yeah, so the two options, you can renew it. You would keep the basic donation that you've already given them, which is $32,950. That's just the cost of the siren. It would automatically renew, so that way it would just trigger each year. You wouldn't have to worry about trying to do that unless one person or the other sends a notice 30 days prior. So that'll cure having to keep redoing that. Then you would remove the part that says additionally Golson donates blank to the update to the frequency system, so that get crossed out. And then you would indicate the donation value. The negative of doing that is then you'll have to, as the city, designate a couple people to actually go and manually press that button and turn it on until you're able to update the frequency system that the city ever wants to, because the fire department won't. Otherwise, y'all can promise that, figure out how to amend the budget, and then you could give that $8,000 plus or minus a little bit to update that system. And you can always do that later if you want, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the options you'll
That's
have.
what I was gonna ask, could we keep it a bit later? Okay.
So what are we leasing from them?
No, it's the storm tower.
We just
Lease
Oh,
the property underneath it.
Oh,
Basically, they're
just-
just for the
just
siren
to
to sit
fill
there.
it in,
Gotcha, okay.
Since
Gotcha.
you weren't here for the discussion, apparently the reason why it's not automatically going off is because I guess at install,
They've changed the frequency.
they changed the frequency, and this has gone on since like day one, to where it wasn't listening to, I guess, the frequency that piggybacks off of Waco sirens, so that it would automatically trigger, which is why the fire department has been going and manually doing it. In order to change the frequency to hear the new frequency, it's $8,000. So the fire department was requesting that we spend $8,000 to have that updated. I recommended that we do a makeshift where we'll be responsible for going and setting it off if it needs to be set off manually until we can actually add that into a budget that's approved, because we can't just keep grabbing money from the ceiling.
Yeah, okay.
But, can I say something?
Huh?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Siren doesn't belong to the fire department. It's not the fire department's gonna set the office for me. But nobody else is taking the initiative to go get that siren. And it's been brought up during multiple times, during multiple years that I've been gone.
Yeah.
This last time, whenever the storm was so bad, nobody felt safe enough to leave their house. The fire department got blamed for it. It's not the fire department's responsibility to drive out in a storm, and get that button. Doesn't belong to us. We got blamed for it, even though we've come to the city for years about the same thing. So if y'all wanna wait another year, and y'all are gonna be the ones responsible for the siren button being pushed, then y'all need to take 100% responsibility so the fire department won't get blamed for it. Because the first thing they tell you to do in a tornado situation, stay indoors, do not drive. And none of us want our family to bury any of us to go push a button. And I'm the one that's been doing it the whole time. Nobody has taken initiative. From the city council, anything, since I
That's the
left.
first time I'm hearing about it, so.
It's been brought up before.
Well, it's the first time I'm hearing about it.
It was brought up whenever Eddie was still there, and you've been like, too. Same thing was said back then.
All right, so what's the play then here? What's the common
Not the fact that
sense?
the frequency wasn't what was triggered. No, we talked about
Yeah, that's the first time I'm
issues
ever
about
hearing
Hey,
that.
Richard was here a couple months ago, and he brought it up then, and we said, we'll just go, they can just keep setting it off manually. A couple months ago, this was brought up again too, this same thing.
Change, I'll ask you a question. Okay,
it. I just, what's the common sense play there?
how much, if we was to do that and add 3 more sirens, because hardly nobody can hear that one, I can barely hear it in my house.
Well, that
So
siren,
sirens were expensive.
Yeah.
that siren was expensive, and it was part of if Jonathan should probably remember, I know.
Yeah, it was
Tommy
supposed to
does.
be,
It was part of a 4 to 5 siren initiative that we was gonna do over a long period of
Yeah.
time. After I left being mayor, it just fell off, but they have looked into it.
So how, but the other sirens would be a little bit smaller now, right? They wouldn't.
The other sirens would already come pre-equipped with the new frequency that the whole county has.
So we get extra sirens or no?
You have to pay for extra
Yeah,
sirens, but they would come to the already new frequency.
already new frequency.
Yeah,
And how much would a siren, how much would, let's say 3 sirens cost?
I don't know. I mean,
About 60 grand for 3 of them?
90.
it depends on who you get it from now, and in that one, we paid, I can't remember.
32,000 or something for that.
32,000 for that.
Okay.
But things change over time, or somebody may be out there that can sell a slightly cheaper one or whatever. We didn't wanna go with the cheapest one, but we didn't wanna go with the most expensive.
3 or 4 years ago, to get enough sirens to cover the city, you were looking at $300,000. There was a
But
company
that'd
out
be
of
lower now
Oklahoma
since we got the
came
one.
down and I got a map at home where they were gonna place it.
And
So
how
what's
much?
the deal with the, I mean, what's the deal with the sirens?
Sirens, we only got one.
I understand that, but I mean, you don't know that there's a storm coming?
Well, no,
I mean, it's all technology now. Your
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
goes off.
it's not the same it's not the same frequency.
Yeah.
The-
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying the whole, what's the point of the siren? I mean,
Well,
I know when a storm's coming before that siren goes off.
yeah, but not everybody,
That's phone.
Yeah.
Nobody has a phone now?
I don't
This is
know.
2026.
well, you're not wrong, but it's still
I
a thing.
mean, that thing goes off.
Okay, y'all just wanna,
I'm wondering what, with the existing siren.
That thing has a phone. That thing goes off
That's it.
when the wind blows, you know what I mean?
$8,000.
So
They have
$300,000 is
autonomy
crazy.
to go turn it on and we'd have a new
And then not be able to
frequency.
hear it.
But
$8,000.
it's not in the budget, it's not something that we've
yeah,
planned
we gotta move
for.
money, so.
The common sense option is obviously that, but, y'all, I mean,
You actually don't
Which
have
is
anything
why I
in the budget
recommended that we
designated
make
for
a
that
big
anyway.
shift and do
There's
it
nothing in
this
there. You
way,
can't create a
so that we can
category
get it
that's
added
not
to the
emergency.
budget, to the new budget that's coming up.
You know what I mean?
And approve it so
Change
that
it
in
to the second
October, we
frequency.
can get the $8,000 and make the
so do,
update.
but basically wait till October.
Right.
But we're responsible for it still.
And
I
in
mean,
that
I ain't
meantime,
gonna be driving over there in the storm, but.
so.
I can walk it. I'll get Chance to show me, and I'll show Holly, and I'll show you too, just in case you're around. But, yeah, if y'all wanna do that, we'll just do that for now, and then when it comes up, and we can find some money, we'll do it, we'll find some money. It's up to you.
We keep adding expenses that weren't originally done, and we can't keep doing that.
Okay. You wanna make a motion there, Holly?
What is the motion?
To hold off.
To donate
What was he doing? Oh, he's up
price.
So, but you would need to
You have to
amend this,
donate this amount.
right?
And just,
You would approve the agreement, with a donation of $32,950. And a $0 donation for the frequency system at this time.
Right.
And then I can take care of it on the back end.
Okay. So then I approve the agreement with the donation of $32,950. And make the amended changes to take out the section 2.
It'd be the update of the frequency system.
Is that section 2?
Now, section 2 is where you have the statement of value. What you're doing is you're removing that sentence that says additionally, Golson donates blank for the update of
Okay,
the frequency
so,
system.
and remove the additionally Golson donates blank for the update of the frequency system? Okay, got it.
and then could y'all look at the next budget, adding that in there, and possibly maybe trying to put some money in there for another siren to start keep.
Yeah, build
So are y'all wanting just one additional siren?
Maybe if
or-
we do like one a year, we
One
can
a
just
year.
kinda.
And we could build up to at least 5.
So my next question is there something that you can put in here that would also protect the fire department from liability until we get that stuff, or can you make up another agreement so that they have something in writing saying that nobody up here is gonna blame them for
They're-
anything?
They're not responsible.
Well,
We could do a memorandum of understanding with all that.
Okay, that
Okay,
way.
can we get that done too, please? Yeah. Alright, do I need a second motion for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Extend the memorandum of understanding, that Golson's taking responsibility for operations of it until, frequency's fixed.
Okay.
So what's the 32,000 given to the fire department for?
That's what the price of the
So-
siren is. You have to renew
Vernon,
the donation.
the original reason that was run up that way is because the fire department is a nonprofit. We don't own the siren, it belongs to the city, so it's like a continuous donation. That way, if the city ever disbands or anything else, it's considered a donation, we legally own it at that time. Does that make sense?
There was a problem with
So-
the
There was-
lease,
They're a nonprofit.
so we had to
We're
do
not
a
profitable.
lease without it being a lease
Yeah.
for the fire department.
So it's not like the city's not giving them the money?
That was just a
it's-
lease.
Yeah, it's.
But you allowed them to check for 33,000?
No,
that was the
No,
siren
no, no, no.
itself.
The siren's value is what it is, so it's written up that way.
That
in
money's
case-
already spent.
Yes,
They just have to write it up like that.
there's no exchange of money going on.
You ready for the next one? Senator?
Did we vote for that?
Yeah, I second it.
Yeah, 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 Rick, Nay, yea, nay.
I mean, I'm gonna sit this one, I'm gonna abstain.
He's on his time. Okay. Okay, consider act on notice an election, joint election agreement and election.
Jonathan did, but, there, is it an additional motion for the memorandum of understanding, or just tack it on to that?
Could be an additional motion.
Okay, so then I'll make a motion for a memorandum of understanding that the city releases any liability from the fire department of actually pushing the button. That, I don't know what else would go into that, but
I'll second that.
And Rick?
Yes, for the waiver of liability for the fire department.
I'll take care of that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, consider the act on notice an election, joint election agreement and election contract provided by the county. This is you, then, Lori.
So Jared did not have those ready for us, so we'll have to consider the next meeting. I'll have to get with you at some point to sign the, it's not still up here, sign the notice of election, but other than that, everything else can be considered at the next meeting.
Okay,
so we just need to,
I'll postpone,
Yeah.
I'll set that off to the next agenda meeting. Okay, G, consider the act upon new flags for City Hall. Okay, we talked about that.
I'll make a motion that we buy
Those new flags
as many flags
for 200.
for $200 that we can, as the ones that were proposed here.
I'll
I'll
second
say.
that.
Okay. Everybody, aye? Okay, got that?
Who seconded?
I did.
All, and, they're hard for, you know, they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, council closed, is there a closed meeting, Lori?
Yeah, just really briefly.
Okay.
8:07.
Is that what?
Executive session.
Executive.
Oh, okay.